Here?
Amari, what does it say about you guys that you've been able to win the last couple of weeks without really having Deshaun, but for more than not even a quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it just speaks to the resiliency of the team. Obviously, for the past couple of weeks, we didn't know, who would go out there and start for us at quarterback. But, at the end of the day, it shows our ability to adapt to whatever situation is presented before us. So, yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? The ability to do that?
I would just say the way we practice. That's the first thing I would resort to, with the way we practice. The circumstances we put ourselves in practice, we just go out there and we dominate the practice. That's why I would say it comes from.
How do you think PJ's handled this uncertainty and getting thrown into the fire, and then obviously this week at practice now that he knows going into the week that he's going to play?
I would say he's handled it well. I mean, comes in, he just does what's asked of him. He goes out there and he tries to execute to the best of his ability. He's been doing a good job.
You feel like you're developing a rapport with him?
Say that again?
Give us an idea how you feel like you're developing a rapport with PJ. How that's
Yeah, just the communication. I mean, repetition is the mother of all learning. So the more reps we get, the better we'll be. But what I've noticed is, we make a mistake on, a connection. We talk about it and we grow from there.
How valuable is a single day of practice preparing for a team for the quarterback? Because last week he didn't practice Thursday or Friday, and it kind of showed, I thought, in the game.
That would be a better question for a quarterback to answer, because I've never prepared as a quarterback to go play in a game. So it would be a better question for a quarterback.
There's something about PJ in the fourth quarter, because these last two games, he's looked pretty good on those game-winning drives.
Hey, man, some people say it's a clutch gene, so maybe he has it. So.
What's that?
Said some people say it's a clutch gene, maybe he has it.
Amari, Jim Irsay came out pretty strongly and said that the NFL informed him.
Who?
Jim Irsay, the Colts owner.
Okay.
He tweeted that the NFL told him that the refs got it wrong on those two calls at the end of the game. So specifically your call, I'm just wondering, did you feel like that was the right call on that?
I mean, the calls are subjective at the end of the day. Did he grab me? I mean, I believe it was very obvious that he did, so they called it.
Going to Seattle, what do you see with the Seahawks secondary?
Yeah, you got some good players in the secondary, players that we have our attention on for sure. But as long as we go out there and do our jobs, we'll be fine. But they're playing really good football.
What's that environment like playing in that stadium?
Yeah, I've played there a couple times. It gets really, really loud. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. But it's something, again, we're preparing ourselves for this week. We're going to go out there. It all comes down to execution at the end of the day. And that's what we're trying to do. We have the crowd noise out there for practice for a reason, and we're just preparing.
What do you think about the rookie corner, Witherspoon? Is he as good as advertised?
Yeah, I think he's a good player. He's making a lot of plays, making his name known. So, yeah, it's going to be a nice, fun competition going out there.
You guys have seen the next man up mentality embodied in the quarterback's room, but you also have had to see it in that running back's room. How have you seen those guys kind of step up when Nick Chubb goes out and then Jerome Ford goes out for the game? How have you seen them maintain that and have a strong run game still?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to the way that those guys prepare. The first thing that is important is knowing what to do when you go out there. I think a lot of guys, they get kind of complacent, thinking that they might not, have the opportunity to play. Then something like that happens in the game to where it's unexpected and you have to be ready. So I think they've stepped up in a big way by just knowing what to do.
How difficult is it for you to kind of get in the flow when you don't get targets early like you did in Indy?
Yeah, that can be difficult to get into the flow when you don't get targets early. I mean, generally you want to you want to get a catch as early as possible so that you kind of get into the groove, get hit a little bit so that you can feel like you're playing. But the cookie doesn't always crumble that way. Sometimes you have to wait even into the second half to get your first catch. And I've been there before. Had games where I had one catch in the first half and then ended the game with 200 yards. So um, it's just perspective.
What was Deshaun like in the huddle, Amari, in those first few plays when he didn't seem to have it going for himself?
I mean, he was like himself. I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, he was Deshaun Watson, just calling the plays that have been relayed to him, just trying to get us going like any other quarterback would do. So it's the same Deshaun.
Even with all the struggles at quarterback, what's it say that this team is still 4-2?
Like I said before, the resiliency of the team. I mean, obviously, quarterback is the most important position. Um, but the defense have been making great plays. I believe the receivers have been making plays when our names have been called. We've just been playing great complementary football. Special teams been playing great. So, when you can play together in all three phases, then good things will happen.
In your dealings and conversations with Deshaun, how badly does he want to be out there, and how hard is he trying to be out there with you guys?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's any player. Something unfortunate happens like an injury. You want to be out there. That's what hurts us the most, not being able to be available for the team. Especially when it's one of those, like, I don't know, I would call it like a gray area injury, to where you don't necessarily have surgery on it. So, like, you could still play, but it's going to be extremely difficult to be you. So that's painful. I've been there.
And is it extremely frustrating as a player, I would guess, to have people wonder if you should be out there before you actually can be yourself?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking from my own experience, yeah, 100%. It's one of the most painful things we go through because, like I said before, uh, it's like theoretically you can play. Yeah, I mean, you can run around, you can move, but you're just not 100% yourself. You're a shell of yourself at that point. So I played through a lot of injuries. I know exactly what he's going through. So yeah, it's hard.
Amari, you've established yourself as one of the most reliable receivers in the league. How much do you study other receivers and still try to add to your repertoire? Somebody like DK Metcalf, for example.
I don't necessarily say that I study other guys, but inevitably I have to watch film on the defenses that I'm going up against. So I see other receivers play, and if I see them do something that is different, I'll tally it up, try to save it for the archives. Yeah.
Thank you. Denzel, what is tough about that Seattle offense, especially that passing?
Yeah, they got a lot of dynamic players on that side of the ball. It's not just the passing game, though, the running game. You see they got a very dominant run game, got a good player back there in Walker, and try to get the run game going. And then also, I mean, got players like Metcalf and Lockett and Jackson on the outside. So, like I said, dynamic players that they can get the ball to and make plays.
Denzel, I don't think you've played in Seattle before.
Not yet.
Any curiosity? Does it matter, or is it mostly concerned about the team?
Yeah, mostly just focus on the team, not really concerned about the atmosphere or whatever. It's still just a game of football and the game I enjoy playing. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned about what's going to go on out there.
It's got a reputation, though. Are you curious to see if it lives up to it?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing like all the hype and everyone's always talking about it gets real loud and stuff like that. So, looking forward to playing there and just seeing the atmosphere and being able to play in their stadium.
What makes Geno Smith kind of another one of those in-between quarterbacks? You have to worry about him running it.
Yeah,
What do you see with him?
he's been a facilitator out there, able to just control the game, just get the ball to his playmakers, like I said earlier, not make too many bad throws out there, but just controlling the game out there.
Do you guys have to be wary of the free-play situation? Like, what happened a couple times? Was that sort of an isolated incident? Do you think it could happen again like that?
Yeah, we do gotta be better. Like that in the Colts game, that was on me. I had relaxed for a minute and had went in and squeezed down on Pittman on the inside. I should have stayed on the outside and cover that guy. So that play was on me. I gotta be better on that. But yeah, just finishing the play and executing our job and assignment. And I don't think it should be too big of an issue in the future.
So you guys were top defense in the league and then thrown on for a lot of years. What happened? What do you think contributed to kind of the points in the scoring?
Yeah, I think it's football. I mean, those guys on the other side get paid too. They're great players as well. So they did a good job putting points on the board, making plays out there. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is getting a win. So we were able to do that and execute that. So just had to focus on what we got to fix and get better at and fix that for the next game.
What did you see on your pick? How did you see that whole thing unfold? It was like you're right there.
Yeah, so at first I seen the play action, so I was about to come down at first, but I kind of seen it play out. Pittman was kind of leaking out. I was able to flip my hips and get back out, and I don't think Minshew had seen me coming back out, so I was able to step in front of it and take the ball away.
How cool was it? I mean, you guys give up 38 points but get 4 takeaways. That's kind of unusual. What was that like?
Yeah, man, that's the emphasis, trying to get takeaways and help our team win. It may not have been the prettiest win, but hey, the most important thing is getting that W in that column. So just finding ways to win week in and week out, and that's the goal.
How close are you with JSN and how excited are you to face off?
Yeah, I haven't met him personally yet, but looking forward to the matchup and going against those guys.
And so with the uncertainty with, Deshaun being hurt, I guess pressure is the wrong word, but, on your side of the ball, you guys think, hey, we got to try and help carry this thing until he's able to get back?
I think we got a lot of capable guys here. PJ, DTR, all those guys are capable of making plays. And as you see, I mean, PJ, he led us to a win, victory the last couple weeks. And so, I mean, yeah, we still got to step up and do our job and assignment on the defensive side as well. But it's just going out there and playing. So once DY is ready, then cool, welcome him back. But we're going to be out there just playing the game that we've been playing and focus on how we could get a win.
Denzel, what did you see when you guys looked at the film from the Colts game about the missed tackling? And how do you guys fix that?
Yeah, just like today, just going out and practicing, doing drills where we could focus on our tackling, focus on where our eyes are supposed to be and our keys and everything. But like I said, there's a lot of talented guys in the NFL. They're going to make plays as well. But we just got to be out here playing fast and physical, and I think that'll take care of itself.
Is it more of like a mental aspect in the moment, I guess? Or like, I don't know, how do you approach that?
In tackling?
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely mental. You got to want to tackle and come up and make a play. But yeah, it's also technique as well. Just coming in controlled and not out of control, and being able to wrap up and get guys on the ground.
Denzel, you knew that the Miles box jump was dialed up.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to work?
Yeah, I think it's going to work. I mean, you guys know Miles is a freak, so I mean, just to see it, have the game plan before the game, and then go in and see him actually do it and get the block. It was a freaky play. It was crazy.
Were you close to getting it too?
I think I was close. I'm glad he got it though. I tried to scoop it and score. I wasn't able to get away though. I wish I could have got away for the team, but well, I think we'd get another one and be able to do it again.
You feel you're getting closer? I mean, there was that field goal against the other team 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we're getting close. I'm getting close. So just gonna try to keep coming hard off the edge and put as much pressure on the kicker as I can. Try to get a hand on the ball and affect them.
Obviously, you guys saw something on film going into that game where you felt like that might work this particular week. Just what's it say about, you know, the attention to detail that Bubba has brought to that particular unit this year, where it feels like that while you guys might not be explosive in like the return games, you're finding ways to get points on the board, you're finding ways to make plays in other ways on special teams.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, just Bubba's attention to detail. I mean, he's the one that's putting in all the work in the film room and studying those guys and seeing where we could attack these teams at, and he's putting the right guys in the right positions to go out there and make a play. And that just showed that putting Miles in that position to be able to jump over a guy, and that's the right guy for the position, and get the block for the team and help us win. So it's been fun.
Denzel, there's no evidence that any of this happened when you were at Ohio State, but when you hear what's going on with Michigan right now and the pride that you take in playing in Columbus, what's your reaction to what you heard about what Michigan's been doing and you know, your message to Ohio State fans up this way?
Honestly, I haven't heard about. I'm not familiar with.
Michigan's been accused of stealing signs illegally by sending staffers to games to record the sidelines and basically stepping over the line of sort of the gray area. They've been accused of cheating, and there's supposedly quite a bit of evidence against it.
Yeah, that's the first time me hearing about that. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. But yeah, cheating is never good. That's it.
Denzel, what was it like, you know, when you guys saw that block by Miles, when you're reviewing the film? Did you guys just erupt, or what was that like?
Yeah, just erupt like, man, it's just a freaky play, just a crazy play. I don't think not everybody could make a play like that, but like, that's just big credit to Bubba getting the right guys in position, and Miles just the athlete that he is able to jump over a whole lineman at his size and speed and get his hands up and block the kick and find a way to affect the game.
How excited was Bubba to take that out of the bag of tricks there?
Oh man, he is going crazy. He is going crazy.
You gonna be hitting Miles up for some Cavs tickets now?
Oh yeah, of course. Got to. We're gonna be courtside, so courtside on Miles. So
did you watch the
you'll
game
see it
last
soon.
night?
I didn't see the game last night. No.
Good.
All right, thank you.
How frustrated are you by the current situation?
What situation?
You know, just being injured in and out.
I mean, all I can really do is control what I can control, and you know, that's right now is just rehabbing, trying to come back as strong as possible, as soon as I possibly can, and that's all I can really do right now.
Did you rush it? Did you rush it last week?
I don't know. I mean, the time limit for usually rotator cuffs are 4 to 6 weeks. You know, I felt during the week that I have the opportunity to play. Right at that kind of 4 week mark, and I just didn't have the strength and things like that to be able to go out there and play a full, complete game. So, the medical staff, Kevin, decided to hold me out so I don't do anything worse to it. So.
When are you hoping to play again?
I mean, as soon as possible. So, we just got to go, through the process again and rehab and get back with the docs and try to strengthen it as much as possible and get the pain away and try to get back on the field as soon as possible.
Do you think playing last week set you back in your recovery?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it did or if it didn't. You know, at the same time, I wasn't 100% last week. So, you know, I just try to, like I said before, you know, go through the game, go through the process of see if I can make the throws, make the plays. You know, I thought I was ready, wasn't ready. And, you know, at the time, you know, I took a hit, took a blow right to the same area. Once I hit the turf on that last play, I guess, that I was laying down. You know, same situation. Boom, hit that. So it was a little shock, and so you know, it possibly could be. So I'm not sure.
Deshaun, when they came out to look,
you look good on Friday. Like you were throwing with velocity when we were watching you out there. Are there days where it feels good and days where it doesn't?
I mean, I wouldn't sit here and say I was feeling perfect on Friday. You know, I was pushing through it, so because I'm a competitor. But you know, I felt like I had enough. But at the same time, though, you got to realize the reality. The reality in practice is very controlled, especially Friday. You call it Fast Fridays for a reason. And, you know, the fact that you can't put in until you actually, you know, go out there is on Sundays. And bullets is flying. You got to be able to react and not think about each throw and not know, you know, where you're going to throw the ball and how you're going to throw the ball and you know, the velocity, the speed, the tempo, all that stuff. So, you know, we got a little taste of it in 3 or 4 drive series. And, yeah, it just, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it just wasn't right.
Deshaun, when they came out to look at you, I guess you cleared a concussion test or whatever. At what point, though, during that evaluation, did the shoulder become the concern and not a potential head injury?
The concern was the shoulder from the jump. I didn't know about the concussion until I went in the second time. So the spotter from up top and the lady came down, and that's when I came out. Then I went back in. That's when we did the concussion thing, and I was surprised too. I didn't know that it was concussion because the whole time when I was down, and the docs came over, we were speaking on the shoulder. So yeah, I cleared that then, and I tried to go back in, and then you know Kevin, AVP, and the docs came over and spoke to me, and you know I wanted to go back in, but you know it's a team decision, you know, and I felt like you know, of course you know being the competitor, I wanted to play and try to you know push it through, but at the same time, what's like I said before many times, like what's going to be the best situation for the team, and 10 was the best situation.
In general, right now, I hear speculation. I see things written that perhaps maybe that you don't want to play. So can you just address the notion?
I wouldn't want to play. I just worked my ass off for 2 years to get back to playing. So why wouldn't I want to play? This is what I've been doing since I was 6 years old. So why wouldn't I want to play? I see the same things. I see all the narratives, this, that, the third. I mean, all that stuff is just trying to cause controversy and commotion. You know, I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm not happy with the injury, but you know, I'm in a great space mentally. I'm in a great space spiritually. Physically, everything else is in a great space except my shoulder. So we're working hard to get that back. But yeah, why wouldn't I want to play? I don't do this for no other reason. So. Yeah, I see that too. I see the whole contract situation and all that stuff. Yeah, that stuff is just for people to talk and just create narratives. So
Someone tried to speculate that you might not even want to play for the Browns. Like you might be looking for somewhere else to go.
Why would I do that?
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that's just someone national. You know, like threw that out there.
I mean, none of those national people know me. They don't talk to me. So why would anybody listen to any of that stuff? All that is speculation. So if it ain't coming from me, then all the other shit is bullshit. So.
Deshaun, during why you thought it was important to talk today because there's just so much stuff swirling around. Did you want to address it even in a week that you're not starting normally?
No, not at all. I mean, the 1 week I didn't talk was, you know, a situation where I was doing something, you know, about my shoulder and I was with doctors and stuff. So then it came out that I wasn't playing. So, I mean, I don't have, and this is and nothing against you guys, but I mean, even in Houston, it wasn't like a set day that I was going to talk or things like that. I guess it's a big deal here. So as long as you get your you know, your interview in throughout the week, that's what I'm used to. So this is the first time where I guess if I don't speak on Wednesdays, it's a big deal. I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna speak as many times as I can, once a week at least, unless you know I'm told otherwise or I have something else to do, you know, on the medical side. But.
Deshaun, has anyone through this process suggested surgery or said that at the end of the season you might need surgery?
No, sir. No, sir.
With the residual swelling, is that something that has been lingering since you originally did this, or did that swelling that's in there right now come from the hit and the fall that you took in Indy?
No, it was from the original hit. You have to remember too. It's like, you know, you hear doctors and you hear people. And I think I mentioned last week too. Is you know, this injury is more like you got to look at it as a pitcher, as a thrower, and usually pitchers don't take collisions. Also, you got to remember too. I got hit hard on it. It's like a car crash, so that's going to create more swelling than just getting pulled back or just throwing and it just strained itself. So, you know, there's other stuff that kind of factor in to the bruising and the swelling around the rotator cuff.
I remember last
and
time I spoke to you, you had mentioned that that MRI came the Saturday before the game because the swelling had to go down, and that's when
Correct.
they found the micro tears. Is it the same situation right now where the swelling has to go down a little bit for them to take another look at it just to make sure everything's okay?
No, we took an MRI. We got an MRI on, was it Monday? What's today? Thursday? Yeah, Monday. So, not that I know of. I mean, it wasn't too much swelling. It's just, again, like I said, I hit the turf. It caused a reaction, and it was just the best situation that, you know, I just rest the rest of the game and this week, and, you know, just get back to the drawing board and, you know, get the treatment in and try to, you know, build that strength around it.
So
Deshaun,
during
the bye week, Andrew Berry said that he thought this was going to be a short-term issue, wasn't going to linger for very long. Is that still the case now that we're, you know, 3 weeks down the line and it's still unclear when you're going to come back? Are you concerned that this injury is going to linger with you throughout the entire season? Because the truth is you are going to get hit once you come back.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, throughout those weeks that I'm not playing, I am doing strength work and building the muscle around it. You know, I'm not sure if it's going to linger or if it's not, but in the situation right now, it's more of just being able to control the ball and things like that. You know, like I said before, I try to push through the pain. You know, he asked me about Friday. You know, Friday was a sharp, you know, controlled day, but it's not that I didn't have any type of resistance throwing the football, you know. So, you know, at some point, whenever I do get back out there, I might not. I'm not sure. You know, this is the first time I'm dealing with it, so I'm just, you know, taking it as it comes and controlling what I can control. But right now, it's, you know, we're not in a space where I should be out there right now.
So it's possible you're going to come back at some point, not be 100%. You have to still kind of work through this.
I mean, of course, but I don't think anybody is going to be 100% throughout the year. So regardless if you're healthy or if you're not healthy, I mean, once you get to November, December, January football, no one's is 100% healthy. So I'm trying to get to a percentage where I can go out there and be very, very beneficial for the team and win a lot of games.
Do you feel like you're on the same page with the team as far as this week deciding to let you focus on rehab?
I mean, of course, you know, we all just came together, and you know, there's no negative vibes or negative energy with this team, with this locker room, or anything. We're 4-2. There's this energy in this locker room, in this team, in the coaching staff, the front office. We're in a great space. We enjoy our victories. We don't care how we get them, as long as we get those W's, and we keep it pushing, we keep it going. So it's always the next man up, and you know, all the other stuff outside noise we don't pay attention to.
Deshaun, did you try to throw this week since Sunday?
Here and there a little bit, but you know, you got to take steps. You can't just jump, you know, where we want to be right now. So, you know, they're doing a lot to, you know, pretty much hold me back from not trying to throw too much and, you know, do certain things. So, you know, I just got to follow the steps and, you know, go from there.
Deshaun, going off of that, you know, you played injured in your career before.
Mm-hmm.
For all the fans that are kind of giving you flack, can you explain like how this is different than other injuries that you've suffered in the past?
Yeah, I mean, like you hit it right on the head. I mean, I played with injuries before. You know, being a quarterback, you have to throw the ball in the day. You know, I have a blessed ability to be able to run the ball and extend plays and things like that, but every quarterback don't need that. If you know, if it was my left shoulder, you know, then I can still use my right shoulder. But since I can't use my right shoulder, and that's my throwing arm, you know, it's hard to direct balls. It's hard to get the ball where I want it to get to, past a certain amount with a certain velocity while defenders is running around. So, I mean, it's the one thing that I need to play the position at a high level, especially. So, you know, like I said before, it's like asking a receiver without a hamstring to go run. I mean, it's crazy. You know, you can't do that.
Couple more? With everything that's happened in the last 2 years, long layoff and now this. How have you been able to stay in a good headspace?
I've been good. I've been staying true to me. I'm, very, very secure with myself. Not in an arrogant way, but I know who I am, and that's how I've been able to, stay sane and stay, true to me. But the most importantly is I know my Lord and Savior, and I stay close to Him. I stay close to the ones that love me, the ones that really support me, and I just, focus on that. And all the other stuff, if you speak negative or things like that, I just stay away from it, and I just stay in my own lane. I don't bother nobody. I go to work. I do what I need to do. I love and being around my teammates in this organization, and I just stay focused on that. So,
Deshaun, you said you weren't ready. Those were your words. Did you know that as soon as you threw that first pass to Jerome Ford that hit the ground?
No, not at all. That was the first play of the game. A lot of quarterbacks do that. They miss a hitch or miss a slant early on. It's the first play of the game. So Jerome was going opposite of the way we were actually running. The defender was coming, and instead of a ball popped up or something like that happening, it just went right at his feet, and we went on to the next.
So
play.
when did you know you weren't ready? That's what you said.
Yeah, we just at the end of the day, I got hit and the injury was there, and so wasn't like an injury where I got a hit and I can just play through it. It was a painful injury during that process when we were under the tent. So that's when we just knew it wasn't time.
Last one here. That 4 to 6 week time frame that you initially told us about last week, is that the same as it was originally, or did the clock reset at all when you took this new hit in Indy?
The 4 to 6 time rate. I think that's a generic timeline for just the normal, just rotator cuff, and I think I'm saying that because that's what, the research says. That's what, doctors typically say for, pitchers and baseball guys and all the research that we done did. But, it can be longer. I don't know. We just don't know until the staff, till the medical staff, till the coaching staff, till myself feel very, very comfortable that I can go out there and be the quarterback, people saw in Tennessee. Then we just gotta, take it day by day, and I think that's what Kevin has been saying, and that's what he's been trying to say. There's no certain timeline on on certain injuries. Some, people bodies react differently, and people, way they, come back react differently. So it might be shorter, it might be longer, and that's why I said it could be tomorrow, it could be next week. I don't know. We just have to take it day by day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Two straight weeks, you're hot.
What?
Two straight
Oh, I know,
weeks, you're
I
hot.
know, I know.
Wyatt said it looked like you had fresh legs on.
You could say that, I guess. No, it was good to be back out there and get the win. Anytime you can go out there with the guys and compete, that's what we all want to do. So it was nice to get back out there and we got a win. Felt good.
So, Joe, Seattle added Frank Clark. We know he'll probably play. But besides that, they have 11 different players who have sacks. Is that more of a challenge to identify to the line or the quarterback to identify that? Who's coming?
It's a big mix. I think it's a testament to the way they play. Like they all go so hard all the time. So there's just a mix. If you want to slide one way or the other, go to Jamal Adams because he blitzes a lot, or Bobby Wagner. Like the D linemen have been making plays for him. They have a good mix of scheme and players, but I think the thing that stands out with them is how hard they go constantly. Like they're constantly trying to push the pocket, work second and third moves. And hopefully we'll be responsible for the 4 down guys, or when they're rushing. But we do got to find who we want to point out in the blitz pickups.
Joe, obviously the running back room has been kind of in a state of flux, and now Jerome's not out there this week. But do you guys feel like, from a schematic standpoint, if kind of figure some stuff out over the bye because seems like it's been better the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, we are. I know they looked at all the numbers and all those things, during the bye, what was working, what's not. And I think just getting comfortable with the ways different guys run. I think we were so comfortable with the way Nick ran the ball, and I mean, he's the best running back in the league, so he makes things work sometimes. But no, I think we're getting more comfortable. I think we saw some good stuff this last week, and I think the main thing for us is the efficiency. Like, we don't want to have these negative runs. We've had a decent amount of negative runs, and that's usually like one guy blowing an assignment or something. And it's not necessarily the O-line or the receivers or tight ends. It's, one from a group or something like that. So we're trying to eliminate those because I think you look a lot more efficient, and that's going to keep you out of the 2nd and 15s or whatever when you lose those yards.
What do you see from
I
Jet?
think he played one time in Seattle in your career.
Yeah, I was hurt that game, so this is my first time out there. Yeah, it was 2000.
I was going to ask you where that ranks in terms of
I've heard-
challenge.
Yeah, I've heard it's loud. A lot of people have told me it's loud, and which is a little bit unique because the open air, stadium. But the way they have it set up, it's kind of like a theater, so I think it keeps the noise in there.
You didn't go to the game that
I did not go to the game. Yeah, I think I was on IR at that point, my 2nd year, so I've not been there before. But I've heard it's challenging.
Hey, Joel, the ball hasn't always bounced your guys' way here during your tenure here. How nice has it been the last 2 weeks to not only overcome some things and get some breaks?
Yeah, it's good. You hope it evens out like throughout your career, but there's multiple times in my career where I felt we've been on the wrong side of some of those things, and I don't know why one sticks out, but one time Duke Johnson had the ball in his hands after he fumbled. I was handing it to the refs, and they were still pointing it the other way, and I was just like, I don't know how this makes any sense, but there's been a few of those moments, you know what I mean, where we've been on the wrong end. So it's one of the things that we try and control what we can control as a team, but in certain situations, sometimes the refs are part of the game, and they make those calls. But it was nice to have some calls go our way the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we can stay out of those so it's not quite as close, coming down the stretch.
Jed, Joel, what have you seen from Jed in the last 2 games? It seems like he's really played well these last 2.
Yeah, he's come out with a lot of energy. He's playing hard. You see some excitement, like he's one of the first ones down there on that long touchdown run and making plays, trying to finish his blocks. I think he's just trying to take a step in his game and be that energy. Especially when I was out, I think he was like, all right, I can step up a little bit and help this team, and he's done a really good job. He's really focused on just trying to be the best version of himself and play through the whistle. But it's been good the last couple weeks, and we're hoping to keep building on that.
You played in front of so many quarterbacks here. P.J. Walker have something that others haven't had? Lucky charms?
I don't know. He's very in command of the huddle. You know what I mean? Like, he's confident. There's never a question about if he believes that we're going to win, and it's a quiet confidence, with him. But he's found a way the last couple of weeks, and I think if you look at his career, I think he had that Hail Mary against when he was playing for the Panthers and stuff. So he's had some plays and some wins in his career, and you get reps in the other leagues that he was playing in. So he has all that experience, and we're supporting him, every time he has to go out there.
Talk about resilience, and you guys have shown it multiple times this year. Where do you think that comes from?
It's one of our core values of the team. We want to be resilient. We know the season's a long season. We know games are long games. Last week was a roller coaster in itself. 8 lead changes and all that stuff. So we understand that not everything's going to be perfect. There's stretches there where our defense is playing outstanding, and we have to be resilient on offense, and vice versa. But it's just something that coach preaches all the time. He's like, how resilient can be. The most resilient team, wins a lot of these close games.
I would assume that comes into play, winning games without your starting quarterback.
Oh, 100%. Anytime you can go out there and get a win when you're not, which a lot of teams aren't, but you're not 100%, it's big for us, and we wanted to really win a road game, stack a win last week, and try and build on that. So we have another huge challenge this week, but no, it was definitely some resilient effort last week.
Kevin said he knew he was going to run the ball if it got to 4th down in that game Sunday. So for you guys as a line, what does that mean to you that he was going to trust you guys and Kareem in that do or die?
Yeah, it's big time. I was trying to calm our huddle down a little bit a few times. We were a little excited there, and I was like, we got to play one play at a time, do what's called, they'll give us a chance, if we need to. But it's a lot of faith in us, and we want to be that team that if we're on the 1 yard line, we can call a run and hopefully score and get in there. And Kareem's the back you want back there for that, because he's going to find a way to get in the end zone.
So you guys were itching before the last play to run the ball.
There's a few guys saying we should run the ball, but with the clock left, I think if you look at the clock management and how it worked out, like you would hope to get in there, but if you don't, you probably lose a play. And if you have a jumbo group on the field, you run the ball, then you have to spike the ball with the jumbo group or try and run a pass play with the jumbo. It makes it a lot more complicated. You could have run it in there though. I think there's always that possibility, but I'm just stressing execute what's called and hopefully we will make it happen.
What's your scouting report on Nick Harris now as a fullback?
Pretty good. There's not very many fullbacks left in the league, so he's like one of 10 guys that plays fullback in this league now. But he's done a good job for us. Hopefully get him some routes here coming up, get him the ball a little bit. But no, he's done a good job. I think in the Niners game there was a couple where he got to come downhill and smack some people. So he's liking it. He wants to get on the field and help the guys out. So anytime we get some more linemen on the field, we get excited about him.
What does it say about a guy like that? Because obviously, we know what happened with the injury last year, and so his role has changed a lot. But he's just willing to kind of embrace a different, weirder role, I guess.
Yeah, he was excited for it. I think every time we have a package with him going in at fullback, he gets excited, and Coach Callahan does a good job of coaching him up on his responsibilities. But for him, I think it just shows he wants to do anything he can to help the team win, and every lineman has that dream of being a skill player at one point or another. So I think he just gets to live that a little bit. Sweet, thanks guys.
Thanks a lot, John.